G'day YouTube, at long last, out on the water, heading off to go fishing. Been planning this trip for a while, all sorts of things getting in the road. We changed boats, had to do some upgrades to the new boat, had to build a shed for the new boat, bad weather, you name it, got in the road. Did manage to get out for one decent boating trip on this new boat, video's up there. But this is the first fishing trip we're out, really excited about it. Going up to the north end of Moreton, going to overnight there, to drop a line in, hopefully get something for dinner, drop the crab pots in overnight, going out fishing in the morning, and then heading home. Super excited when I left home. And that was the plan. Well, you know what they say about the best laid plans of mice and men. Now the weather was pretty good, there wasn't much swell at all, nothing to speak of for the bay sport, but about halfway over to Moreton, my wife started to feel sick. Now just to fill you in on a little bit of background, my wife had always been seasick on all the boats we've had, except the last boat, which was Little Haynes, that's been in some of the videos, and that was the first boat I've ever owned with a 4-stroke motor. So we gave it some thought and we worked out that it wasn't seasickness at all. It was the exhaust fumes from the 2-stroke motor that was making her sick. And we proved that because she's been out in that Haynes in some reasonably rough weather, not a drop of seasickness at all. So it was a total surprise that she got sick on this trip on the bay sport. Anyway, once she got sick, we cut the trip short. We headed over into Lucinda Bay instead of heading up to the north end of Moreton. I thought if we got her into a bit of calm waters, she might settle down. Unfortunately, Lucinda Bay wasn't as calm as I'd hoped. There was a little bit of swell coming in from the southwest, which came straight into the bay. For me, it was dead calm, but for someone who's seasick, it was pretty uncomfortable. So I headed around the corner closer to Tangalooma, where I could get into a little bit more shelter, still hopeful that the trip wasn't totally lost. And we did get in on the south end of the bay at Tangalooma, which did afford a little bit more protection from the swell. However, all that was negated by the additional boat traffic and the wake from them, so it was still uncomfortable for my wife. Still trying to salvage the weekend, I decided we'd head down to the southern end of Lucinda Bay, where we could get in a lot closer to the island and hopefully find some calmer water there. But on the way I asked my wife how she was feeling and if she thought she should overnight or did she want to go home, and she wasted no time telling me she'd like to go home, and she really did look quite ill at that stage. Every new boat is a new learning experience. You've got to learn what they like and what they don't like, how they behave in certain conditions, and what their little idiosyncrasies are. On the trip back, we learned about one of them. Our trip over was pretty smooth, and I certainly wouldn't call the trip back rough, but it was certainly rougher than the trip over. And surprisingly, as the trip progressed, my wife got better, wasn't as sick anymore. Now the only difference there was in the boat on the trip over and the trip back was that in the morning it was really cold and my wife wanted the clear windscreen section above the real windscreen. Now on the Bimini, you've got that clear section that you can unzip and roll up out of the way. She wanted that closed because it was so cold and she doesn't like the cold at all. So I went along with that. Didn't bother me one way or the other. I did notice it was a little bit stuffy in the enclosed Bimini, but I didn't put two and two together till the trip back, where I had that section open on the trip back and it was letting the fresh air in, flowing through the cabin, for want of a better word, and it wasn't as stuffy and my wife was getting better. And I think what was happening was that having that closed was causing the wind to swirl around the cabin area and sucking a little bit of the 4-stroke exhaust fumes back into the boat, and that's what made her sick. The trip back, although it was rougher, she actually got better, so in future, it doesn't matter how cold it is, we're going to open that clear plastic section and let some wind through the boat. As I said, every new boat's a learning experience, and we learned something from this trip, even though it didn't turn out the way we had hoped. The good news is my wife's still keen to do an overnight trip, now that we know why she got sick. Because getting sick took her totally by surprise as well, because we've been going out in the previous boat for a year without a touch of seasickness at all. The next trip is going to be a dedicated fishing trip, depending on the weather, that should come off in the next week or two. Hopefully we're going to get some fish and get some videos up of that. In the meantime, if you'd like to see more of my videos, you can go to my YouTube channel. Until next time, good fishing.